Ross Chastain used the wall all the way around this racetrack.
Logano has been the class of the field.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
Yeah, I need to change my underwear.
And just like we started, Brian, it is time for Daytona, the final race of the NASCAR regular season. William Byron is already clinched the championship for the regular season championship.
I thought you were going to say William Byron has already staked claim to victory lane here at Daytona.
No, I wasn't. I definitely had a joke somewhere in there, though, about which Hendrick driver is going to win a super speedway this week.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one trying to grab the last playoff spot and take somebody else out. Although if he won, it wouldn't matter. The Reddick would still get in. But Brian, Richmond was the best race of the NASCAR season. Is that correct or is it incorrect? Of the 2025 NASCAR season?
I don't know if it was the best race. I know for a fact, at least to me, it's the best race we've had in 2 months.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, I was going to go 2 months, but I kind of want to get a little more aggressive. Like, when's the last awesome
when
race
you look at, so when you look at the Atlanta race, Atlanta's been fun this year. Homestead was fun. Darlington was really good. But since then, and then I think the Coke 600 was a lot of fun this year as well. But, since that time, once we started getting into the road courses, and then we've had a lot of fuel races. I mean, we had a fuel race at Iowa, which is bonkers. And then Shane kicking the shit out of everybody does nothing for the peripheral fan base. But yeah, Richmond was incredible. I feel like we handicapped it very well. And for the most part, I'm so happy to see Ryan Blaney completely take all negative energy that was directed towards him in his past at this track and tell everybody to shove it up their Yahoo that 2025 Ryan Blaney is way different than 2024 and prior.
Yeah. Like, obviously I had Byron at Iowa, which I obviously love cashing that ticket, but that race was ass.
Yeah.
You had Bubba at the Brickyard, which obviously you love cashing that ticket, but that race was not great.
Horrible race.
I had Chase Elliott at Atlanta. Obviously love cashing that ticket, but anyway, I would say of the races since basically June started, that was like the leader in the clubhouse.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I think the street races, the Mexico one, and even Sonoma had fun at the end, but it was a lot of Shane just kind of dragging it out and making it really. So I would say at least since the Coke 600, it's definitely the best race. We had compelling movement the whole way. We had comers and goers and passing.
The strategy was
tire
so
fall
fun.
off.
Yeah.
And honestly, if Chase Elliott doesn't get barreled by Kyle Busch as a bowling ball, he's getting ready for Halloween a little early. Maybe he's another guy who gets on a weird strategy, but come the end of the race is right where he needs to be.
Hold on a second. So I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know how many people who were just watching the race on TV realized how close we were to getting a Carson Hocevar steal of a victory. Because with him being off cycle from everybody else and pitting, I believe it was 3 times in the final stage, there was a possibility, had his team not effed up the last 2 pit stops, that he might be running away with this thing because he was having the shortest runs on tires, allowing him to go as hard as possible from the get to the end of his tire run.
Yeah. All the credit in the world to Austin Dillon to coming back here and doing it again and winning the race. He was great. He was smart. His crew did an amazing job. They were efficient on pit road, which is very odd for an RCR car. They were also really smart. I was listening to Gluck and Bianchi, and they were talking about how they were patient the first couple laps on new tires, get that wear in, and then go. And
that's the importance of listening to in-car radios, because on the final pit stop, I was flipping between the 3 and the 12. They specifically told Austin Dillon when he fired out of the pit box, let's take care of our tires here the first handful of laps so that way we save some at the end. While Blaney, when he came out, it was let's go hard to make up the gap, which ultimately cost him on the back end.
Well, also the amazing racing between Blaney and Dillon, going around the track chasing each other. Basically, it sounded like from what Bianchi was saying is Blaney wanted a short pit there, but he couldn't get around Dillon. And then when Dillon finally passed him, Dillon went right into the pits and pit.
Yep.
So like completely cut off all of his strategy, and he had to run it out. And by the time he pit and everything, he had no shot. So amazing work by RCR. Very not on brand for them, but they had an amazing day. Dillon was a hell of a driver.
The 3 had an amazing day. The 8 car.
Well, yeah.
Conversely, what is going on?
Kyle Busch is going retirement. He's just send him off. He's mad at the world. Even Denny's like, "What are you mad at, bro?" I was like, "Geez,
man. Kyle Busch basically lived out the meme like Jesus take the wheel during that. He must have just let go and let his car go.
Bye-bye. Kyle Busch, bye-bye. They should, they're right there with Harvick in terms of like that age cliff, and it's just time to say Auf Wiedersehen. But yeah, Richmond was so much fun. And I think maybe it was a Saturday night thing. I don't know. I love these Saturday night races, especially for us and doing all this content, like having that whole Sunday, like free of.
I mean, I did go golfing Sunday, so that was really nice.
Yeah,
but
I was looking at model homes and wanting to jump off a cliff, but that's another story. But yeah, I mean, just like Saturday night, hell of a race. Got to relax on Sunday and catch up. Yeah. And obviously, we're here a day early, thanks to the books, thanks to the gate races, thanks to Daytona being another Saturday race as we enjoy that before we get into the heart of the playoffs. If you are new here or if you've yet to do that, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and let us know what your thoughts are. What's the best race of 2025? Or give us like a Mount Rushmore, maybe 3 or 4. I'm very excited for Daytona. Obviously, we're not going to get invested like we do for majority of races. I have a fantasy draft Saturday night. I'm going to have the race on. I'm very excited for just like a relaxing, chill evening, picking some players. My buddy got one of the cameos from one of the guys in the league, and he picked our draft order, which is incredible. So Kevin from the league decided our draft order. So that's very, very fun. So we're going to do that.
I was just going to say my home league that I host, we're actually using Daytona as our draft order selector, where it's a 10-person league and each person is.
How did you do that? I've been trying to do that for so long.
Oh, I just tell them this is what's happening. And then
I guess if you're the commission, you can kind of control it.
Yeah. Each person is going to get randomly gifted 3 drivers that are in the field. Obviously, I'm going to take the worst 10 guys and probably just eliminate them from the field.
Yeah.
And then I think I might do it in reverse order though. So the person who has the worst finisher gets the first pick, and the person who has the best finisher actually gets the last, just to change it up a little bit.
I would just make sure that everyone's on the same page about that before so they know what they're cheering for.
I mean, most of these people don't have zero interest in NASCAR, but last year I did it and they actually watched the end of the race. So
this is also the best way to have Joey Logano in your player pool. You can root for him to crash first or win the race. Both outcomes are very much in his range.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right, let me share my screen. We can run through all of Richmond, the bets, the DFS, the kind of overall. I'm ever closer to taking over the top spot in our Grid Rival League. I'm still hanging around in second. I haven't quite gotten there yet, but I'm trying to gain ground there.
My missed week is killing me.
Yeah. Chase Briscoe obviously didn't win. Christopher Bell didn't top 3. That's okay. Ryan Blaney,
right there.
dude, I thought he was the best car.
He was.
He wasn't, but I thought he was.
I don't know. I think there were times when he was the best car, and then at the end, it was apparent that Austin Dillon was the best car on the long run.
Well, and I think whoever short pitted, which shouts to tires mattering, shouts to long run actually mattering. But I think whoever pit first, I think was probably going to win. I was very excited about Blaney, but obviously didn't get there. Did have my top 5 though, which got I had a top 3 personally that got far too close for comfort.
I told you to take the 2 extra spots.
Yeah, but
I know you cashed it, but
the price was significantly different, especially on race day.
Yeah, but give me the safety all day.
Blaney top 5, Josh Berry top 3 or top 10 rather. Josh Berry was great. He just kept like being in the forefront. I know the price wasn't like what you really want. In some places it was like below minus 150. So I got 185 at Rivers, and I was happy to add that. You obviously had Blaney for top 5, and you had 83 stacks. As I mentioned to you before the show, my 2 biggest regrets of the betting calendar is not betting Bubba at the Brickyard, because you got it at like some absurd number, and I could only get it at like 40 or 35. And the same thing for Austin Dillon. So I need to be better about figuring that out. But obviously a big week for us. I had to fix these odds too, by the way. So I redid the math. So we may want to double check. I went back a few weeks just behind the curtains. Because it was showing like 2 here and like 10 and 2 or something.
So okay, I thought that's what it had a little bit earlier. So yeah, there was definitely something wrong with the formula.
Yeah,
we can go back.
I fixed that, but up almost 30 units. I'm loving my life. And then you're obviously digging yourself out of the massive hole with a nice win. Obviously, we got Daytona this week, Brian. Remember, don't get too invested. Don't get too invested. Don't get too invested. Don't get too invested.
Or don't invest at all. That's basically.
Well, that's also probably the move, but I'm mostly saying that to help myself. All right, DraftKings, solid week. I think we capped this race really, really well. I think obviously we could have done a few things differently, maybe given ourselves a bigger week, a more profitable week. But I think we did okay. So yes, we did the 3 max. Kyle Busch ended up being solid, even though he was a bowling ball in the track. Gibbs and Stenhouse, solid. Obviously, Ryan Preece was a anchor sinking fast. Kyle Larson was solid. Christopher Bell, we spent a lot of money on not very good, so that was kind of annoying. There was a point though early where it seemed like he was going to be good, and then he kind of went away, right?
That was all right. Like he wasn't anything to write home about. He was at best a 5th place car.
Yeah. Denny was whatever. Blaney obviously was the man. I think we both wrote him up. Chastain was really good. Josh Berry was really good for. I said he's a little more expensive than people wanted to pay. Well, and that was the other thing I mentioned. I was like, we really like. By the way, what I'm talking about, I'll pull it up on the side screen. But we were like, well, we like Logano and we like Blaney and we like what Penske's doing, and by association. This is our free newsletter. It comes out every race day. Obviously the cover boy is Austin Dillon, which hard to beat the cover boy curse, but he certainly did it. We read up our favorite DraftKings picks. Obviously, shout outs to our friends Win the Race. Go over there, get in for the playoffs. $30 a month for the rest of the season. Totally worth it. Discord is crazy fun. Tools. The Sims, everything. And then
we get into some pretty heated debates on
we had our write-ups. Yeah, and it's good discussion too. It's never anything personal, but it's just like people with very different viewpoints, and it's good to have that kind of back and forth.
Yep.
Our grid rival picks, obviously.
This was so annoying.
Which one? Oh,
I believe it was Larson that effed that up for us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one cashed though, so that's good. There's still time to get in. If you don't want to get invested heavily at the betting window, you can go on to Grid Rival, $100 match, do some picks, and have some fun there. Obviously, our favorite play, Brian wrote up freaking Austin Dillon, and I still didn't bet it because I'm a dumbass. But all three of our best bets won, so that seems good. And obviously,
finally.
our full betting cards, everything in there. So make sure you check that out each and every week. You can get it sent to you automatically for free. Highly recommend doing that. Denny, Blaney, Logano, Chastain, the Gilly Gang, and Jesse Love was one of our better lineups. And then SV Jesus. How about that? Best finish on an oval. Started 27th, finished 14th. Only 3%. That was our best pivot play. That and honestly, that and Suarez. How we didn't win all the money, I don't know. But I guess if this Denny is Kyle Larson or something, we're doing great.
Shit, if Denny is freaking Austin Dillon, what do you mean?
Well, that too, but I don't think that was ever something we were gonna do. So
no. But yeah, so look, people can talk. We can continue this conversation here, but Shane is getting better on the ovals. He was a legit top 15 car this past weekend at Richmond. I mean, he was running the most unique line I think we've seen.
Well, and that's what Denny was talking about too.
He was ripping the wall.
Yeah, normally people just kind of follow along to the good drivers, and he's like, "This doesn't work for me in my style," and he punted on it almost immediately, and it was the best thing he could have done.
Yeah. He made up so many spots early in runs by doing that any losses that he incurred at the back end it was like 2 steps forward, only 1 step back each time.
And ultimately, in the long run, he probably won't be able to run that if he wants to try and win the race. But being competitive, being a top 10 car, he could probably do that and get away with it.
Exactly.
All right. Any other Richmond thoughts before we move on and talk Daytona, the lottery ticket? 400 this time around.
Shorten the season, push the end of the season up. Richmond championship race.
That would be interesting.
That racing was incredible.
Yep. Yep. I think shortening they've been talking about, well, you gotta, because there's a lot of scuttlebutt about Dover and where it may or may not end up on the calendar, and potentially that being the All-Star race, and then North Wilkesboro being a points race, and that it's take away. Well, we don't need an All-Star race. Nobody likes that. If you want to make North Wilkesboro a points race, make it a points race. We were talking about, getting rid of double appearances at some of these venues that don't get very good ticket sales. We're talking about there's too many road courses on the schedule that we want to eliminate. Make it 28 races, make it 30 races, and maybe the business of NASCAR doesn't like UPS or whoever isn't going to be excited about that. But I think ultimately, if you're getting less races, you're getting more eyeballs, you're getting more people at the track every time they come through. I think, yes, Brian, did you have a question?
Why don't we have double headers? During the non-football portion of the calendar, they could shorten the length of the season and the burden on these teams by, say, a venue has 2 races on that year, cut it down to 1 visit during the regular season, but it's back-to-back days. You could have a cup race on a Saturday and a Sunday, and then have the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race immediately in front of the first cup race on Saturday or after. And so that way the cup guys aren't having to go 38 weeks or 39 weeks.
I think the logistics of bringing enough vehicles to the track and enough tires.
We did this during COVID. They got through the season then.
Yeah, but that was different because they were running different days, and it was like a Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know.
They were running back-to-back days. Like, remember we had like Pocono where they would revert the finishing order of the first race, and that was the starting grid for the second race. Like,
That would be the worst thing to happen to our content schedule. Let me just tell you that if we have double duty
well,
races.
yeah, that would suck. But I mean, in order to open up the possibility for
Would they
more,
qualify again and you'd be starting third on one
no,
day
there
and
wouldn't be
17th on
qualifying
another
though.
day?
It would be determined probably on the previous race, or they could
How
just
are we
set the
going to
order
make
by
all
the
this money on
metric.
Chase Briscoe? Like, I hate this. This is the dump. Like you know,
Because they're not going to
I'm
get
all
rid
for
of the amount of
creative
race.
new ideas, but
Yeah,
that
so
ain't
they're
it,
not
Chief.
they're not going to cut races out of the calendar. As much as I'd like that to get
Yeah.
Richmond as a championship venue, they're not going to. The TV deals are not going to allow for them to cut races.
Yeah, imagine if we just started the Daytona 500 in, I don't know, March, and then you could like hopefully miss a lot more of the rain, or start the calendar on the West Coast and avoid all the nonsense of like all these Monday races and rainouts and nonsense and what washed out this and washed out that. I don't know.
Well, the season is just too long.
You can tell we're talking about Daytona today by the amount of nonsense and other things we're talking about.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of there's
No.
no analysis.
As Chris Wormy would do on his pre-race poll. Can this guy win? Yep. Can this guy win? Yep. Can this guy win? Yep. Can this guy win? Yep.
Everybody.
Everybody, even Cody fucking Ware can win. What if Cody Ware wins?
Dude, look, as a contrarian at heart and somebody who is just rooting for the absolute Armageddon in the NASCAR scene, give me a Cody Ware win here this weekend.
Cody Ware win, but send that guy out to the pasture.
It would send everybody into the Twilight Zone.
I just like the Austin Dillon and SVG one. All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this over. Here we go. Joey Logs 10-1, Cindric 10-1, Ryan Blaney 10-1, Brad 12, William Byron 15, Kyle Busch 15, Chase Elliott 15, Kyle Larson 16, Alex Bowman 18, Busher 18, Bell 18, Hamlin 18. The books are just like, I'm not giving you nothing.
Oh my God, these numbers are.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up over on my other screen, the Action Network, so you don't get demonetized again and kicked off Twitter or off of YouTube. But let's see here, NASCAR. So always shop it. Why are you not showing me outrights? But anyways, obviously there's a lot of names. They're all jumbled at the top. I guess who are the names that you're potentially interested in targeting this week?
I have one angle and one angle alone this week when targeting outrights. One, they've got to be long numbers or guys that need a win to clinch a playoff spot. I have zero interest in playing anybody that has already clinched an advancement to the postseason. So all these Penske guys, look, they're fantastic here, but I'm not playing 10-1. The only person up in this group that I'm looking at is Brad Keselowski, and I guess you could also add Kyle Busch in there, but you can get better numbers if you shop around. Like Busch at 15, I don't mind playing that because we're talking about, 0.2 units here. We're talking about a fifth of a unit just to have fun, but also on somebody who needs this win. I would rather have that than root for Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney at 10-1, who they'll get taken out by the guys who need a win.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. I gotta make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Yeah, no, I totally agree. The only name that's sort of interesting as a guy who hasn't won yet is just mostly because I think it would be a funny way to end the season, is William Byron, who could bookend the season with Daytona wins.
No, that's so boring.
Yeah,
who wants that?
I mean, I kind of want that, but that's me.
I mean, that's just going to feed into the fact that he can't win at a real race.
Well, I mean, no one's saying that except for you, and he's the Cup champion. So, and your boy Tyler Reddick's going to be on the outside looking in when he doesn't even make the playoffs. So just
all right. So that means that you're picking somebody below the cut line.
I think so. I think it's got. I mean, if there's a place it's going to happen, like this week is the week, right?
Will it though? Are we just going to see more stupid fuel saving and staying in line and everybody being safe?
Maybe for the first two stages, but I think ultimately there's enough names that are going to be competitive here that the Chris Buschers, the Ryan Preece, the Brad Keselowskis, they're going to go for it.
Yeah. That's so. Obviously, prior to jumping on here and offshore, I full disclosure, I have 9 outrights right now.
Yeah.
Very minimal plays though. We're talking like fractional.
Yeah, no, like a unit
Inside.
on like a handful of guys is the way to play it this week.
Yeah.
I guess my
but
question
again,
is
everybody fits into the narrative that I talked about.
based on the numbers that we can actually get, how many are you adding to the card?
So right now I have 2. Tyler Reddick at 28 and that's at Caesars. That's much longer than everywhere else because I do think there's a world where Reddick can potentially clinch a spot if he say he wins stage 1 and then maybe wins stage 2 and then he can go for it. Say he clinches by the time we get to the final stage, then he can go for a win. And so I'd rather be hanging on to 28 just in case that does happen for a guy that did luck into Talladega last year as well.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Michael McDowell 45-1 at Bet365 or their sister company Bet US Offshore. If you can get 40-1 or longer on him, I don't mind taking a shot on him either.
Okay. I think both of those play for sure. I think all of the RFK guys are interesting.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Most of their numbers are a little shorter than I like.
Yeah.
Like
Well, they've got cooked.
Buescher at 20 is fine. I think I'd rather have like 25. And obviously none of these numbers are really going to move, even if qualifying changes things.
Yeah, because
maybe if Noah Gragson puts it on the pole or something, they kind of adjust a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would be really interested to see when more prop markets start dropping. Like if you could get Team RFK, for instance, to win.
Yeah, or just Fords to win.
All right, so Caesars does have Ford.
Cindric already won a race, right? So he's in.
Yeah, Cindric's already locked in. All 4 of the Penske Alliance teams are in the playoffs.
No.
So you can get Ford at plus 140 at Caesars right now, which at Daytona, I don't know if I like that, but I mean, if you want to just make one bet, put $100 on that and just sit there and root for all the Fords, I don't hate that.
Is there a potential that Austin Dillon goes back to back and just YOLOs the hell out of it?
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that happening, especially with watching and listening to his post-race press conference yesterday, in that the team's focus has now shifted into trying to get the 8 through. So obviously they're going to be doing everything possible to get Kyle Busch in the
get them
lane
both up
again.
there, and Dillon can push a little bit. That could be I can't bet it.
One last thing on Dillon. I also think there's a world where, say Kyle Busch is not in the race, say he wrecks out early, he's then now used to push another Chevy who's not locked in, like an Alex Bowman to secure his spot, or even his brother, for gosh sakes. Like, say Ty Dillon is running up there, another really good super speedway racer. Why not push him to a win?
Yeah, and Denny was even talking about how much the Chevys help each other out, even when they're not in the same camp. So,
unless you're Parker Retzlaff.
Well, yeah, man, I don't.
Yeah, numbers have already started to get destroyed. I will say Reddick has gotten longer from where he opened.
Yeah, because he can't win. Makes sense. What if Ty Gibbs wins?
Oh my gosh, dude, I will lose it.
What's his number?
I need like
35?
50 on Ty Gibbs.
I'm gonna put 35 on the card. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Tyrone Gibbs.
I mean, I don't hate it. I really don't think that's a bad.
Well, especially with his JGR teammates all in, right? So it's just a matter of pushing him to a win.
Yeah.
Not like Denny's amazing at that, or Bell, or Briscoe's pretty good. Briscoe could put it on the pole and be right there.
Denny's just going to be riding in the back like he always does. He probably has zero interest in actually racing this week. And he's like, look, let's just get to Darlington where I can go out there and finish top 3 and then go to Gateway, take a bye week, and then go to Bristol where it can be me and Kyle. That's the way I think that's the way Denny's looking at these playoffs. Although he did say on the recent Actions Detrimental that there's a possibility of him finishing and entering the playoffs as the 2 seed or the 6 seed, which is a massive difference in points. And so I do think he's probably going to be racing for playoff points, but at some point he might also decide, you know what, just going to be current gen Denny and we're going to ride in the back and just try to play it safe.
Yeah. I'm gonna ride with you on McDowell. I don't know if I actually think he can win, but we've seen him do well enough, and I think he'll be interesting enough. And he could be somebody that spoils the party for sure. It would be fun to be able to bet like yes, no prices on like Reddick to not make the playoffs, Bowman to not make the playoffs.
You know, I'm curious if my least favorite offshore now is going to have some of those markets.
I will be on the lookout for you. Let me tell you. Is there? I don't know. Do they have like stage 1 winners and stuff on here?
No. So yeah, those markets haven't dropped yet. They have like the winner of stage 1 to win the race, the winner of stages 1 and 2
so
to
our
win the
favorite
race.
Offshore has them.
Has stage 1 winner?
Yeah.
Wait, your favorite? My least favorite?
My favorite, the one that categorized you, has
as a pro. Yeah.
Briscoe is 25
to win the first stage.
Yeah.
This might be the market to attack this week.
Bubba is 25. Hocevar's 30. Chastain's 30. Priest is 30. The Gilly Gang is 30.
Yeah, not touching Gill.
83 stacks is 40.
So I think you got to look at the guys who are going to qualify really well. That's why Penske is so high up there. Of the guys listed on this market, like obviously we're not going to show this because we don't give out offshores, but Ryan Preece and Chris Buescher are probably the 2 most interesting to me at 30 and 20 respectively. Because if they can get to the front, I do think you're going to see the Fords help each other, which they're really good at. And you know, all the manufacturers try to pit together. So I would assume RFK is going to try to pit with Penske. And if they could somehow cycle to the lead, it's Buescher or Preece could be running up front.
Yeah, well, and they're both qualify well, so they could easily get there. Yeah, I like where your head's at. So this might be, and that's another way where if you don't want to get involved in the long game, look at stage 1 winners, look at qualifying, look at some other stuff like that where you don't have to deal with the nonsense of stage 2 and stage 3. There could be a lot more, as Brian mentioned, follow the leader. Everything makes just kind of plodding along, all that good stuff. All right, so I have Gibbs, I have McDowell. Brian has Reddick, McDowell, Buescher, and Ty Dillon at 80. Go off.
Please give me a Ty Dillon win.
Yeah. Austin Hill?
No chance.
It would be so funny. I know he can't actually make the playoffs, but if he got a win before Kyle Busch,
that would be the most.
Make me so happy.
No, that would be.
It's also really funny that Austin Dillon and Chase Elliott have the same amount of wins over the last 2 or 3 years or something crazy. I know
And
that
Austin
makes me
Dillon's
happy.
wins came at real tracks.
Oh, these Elliott fans are going to be in your mentions, brother.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Let's see stages. Oh, we have stage 1 winners on MGM too, so we can
they have
talk
them?
about that. Yeah, Busher is 20 there. That's good. Briscoe is 25. I'm gonna add Briscoe and Busher to win stage 1. Briscoe. These
Breeze is
numbers tend to
30.
move quickly, so price shop accordingly. If the numbers have moved aggressively, we're no longer interested. But I'm going to add Briscoe and Busher at 25 and 20. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna play Busher and Priest for sure.
For context, we're playing like a quarter of a unit, so
Yeah.
we're not putting $500 on this. We're putting like $5
No.
and seeing what we can get to stick.
Yeah, this is the week to play as little as possible.
Yeah, I can actually, yeah. McDowell is sort of interesting.
The only thing I worry about with like McDowell, like the Spire camp, I know that they have a large conglomerate of other Chevys. I just don't see them as being the friendly brothers to the rest of the Chevys.
Yeah,
I see them as almost being the redheaded stepchild right now, especially with the way Hocevar's been racing everybody. So I feel like the HMS camp and stuff like that would in turn try to win the stage as opposed to just push somebody.
I'm gonna add Todd Gilliland to win stage 1 too at 30.
Todd Gilliland?
Isn't he?
The power of the pickles? Grillo's pickles are back.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I feel like he always qualifies well at super speedways. Am I misremembering that?
Well, I mean, he's been kind of crappy at qualifying this year.
That's true.
What is going on here?
Let's see here. Driver average is riding the struggle bus.
That site always takes 50 years to load up. That's the living embodiment of the it took 84 years meme.
Yeah. I really want to develop something in the off season with all my free time that I don't have. Let's see here. The Todd father. So he started 15th at Dega, 14th at Daytona this year, but he was third, second, third last year. But he was pretty trash before that. Maybe I am misremembering. All right, he's not going on the card. Thank you. Briscoe and Busher stage 1 though did go on. Brian added Busher stage 1 and Priest stage 1. I think stage 2 betting is probably a fool's errand, but I don't even know if they exist anymore. Top 10s aren't worth betting. Maybe top manufacturer.
I'm not. This week for me is outrights, and I guess you could include a stage win as like an outright. I'm not messing with any of the auxiliary markets personally.
And like a Logano or Cindric at 28. Oh no, you have to pick both of them. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm not touching that stuff.
That seems like a fool's errand. Ooh, is there any good no bets I can make? I'm gonna max out my no bet on Ricky Stenhouse.
Watch him win.
$1. I know, right? Anyways,
Speaking of that, yeah, Stenhouse is so overvalued this week by the books. They have him at 18 and 20.
Yeah, he's always overvalued at speedways because he won one time when he was like 35. It's crazy.
After everybody stopped betting him.
Indeed. All right. Well, so smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are still working to get to 1,500. If we get to 1,500 before the end of the season, we'll still do the $100 giveaway. If we get to 2,000 subscribers, we'll do $200. That's another 500 subscribers, and we're at 14 right now. I mean, it's probably not likely, but hey, if you guys do it, we'll do. I'll say 250 if we get to 2,000. So get us there. We'd love to have people, because there's a lot of you that watch every week that don't subscribe. So just click the subscribe button. Costs you nothing. You find out when our videos go live, like when we record on a Monday instead of a Tuesday, or when there's a Saturday race, you know when it's popping. That is Brian Twining. I'm Kyle Robert. Enjoy the rest of your week. Let us know your Mount Rushmore of 2025 NASCAR races. Let us know, are you betting anything this week? We'll obviously be back Friday night to talk all things DraftKings once we have the starting grid, which may or may not be with rain. Odds probably won't move a ton, but we'll take a look. Maybe we'll have some more thoughts kind of as the week progresses. Always check out our friends over at Win the Race, not only to their great, amazing content, but over on YouTube as well, where they have their draft every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern. Highly recommend getting in there. They have a great live chat. Get in there, chop it up, have fun. Wormy, I believe, is off this week, but we'll be back.
Yes.
And he's doing a full race for Darlington, which is going to be incredible. So make sure you lock in for that. We'll have all that information shared on our Twitter and or X Machine, Instagram, all that good stuff. That's Brian Twining. I'm Kyle Robert. Hope you enjoyed Richmond as much as we did. Hope you're ready for a hell of a Daytona. Don't get too invested. Don't bet too much. Don't lose your shirt over a race that's going to be complete carnage. We're here for the playoffs. It's playoffs time, baby. We're gonna get in. We're gonna get some excited. We're gonna look for some futures odds once the field is set. The odds have been pretty trash so far, but
Yeah.
if you shop around and you have a name or two, maybe you'll find something you really like. Until then, we'll talk to you next time.